This is my litRpg, and you are listening The Awakening Trials Book 1 of a litRpg novel series, The Eternal Ascent. Chapter 5, Into the Unknown. I kept moving through the forest, each step feeling heavier than the last. The towering trees loomed over me like silent sentinels, their massive trunks stretching up into the canopy, which blocked out all but the faintest traces of sunlight. The air was thick with the scent of earth and damp leaves, and the silence was oppressive. Broken only by the occasional rustle of the underbrush, I pushed my way forward. Fight with the feral hound had left me shaken but determined. The system might have thrown me into this world with little more than vague instructions and a single skill, but I wasn't about to roll over and give up. If the only way to survive was to grow stronger, then that's exactly what I would do. But as the minutes stretched into hours, my frustration began to mount again. Forests seemed endless, each tree looking just like the last, and there was no sign of civilization or any other living beings, hostile or otherwise. The system remained silent, offering no hints, no guidance. I was completely on my own. I paused to catch my breath, leaning against one of the massive tree trunks. My body was still recovering from the fight, and the adrenaline had long since faded, leaving me with a dull ache in my muscles and a growing sense of exhaustion. But rest wasn't an option. Not in a place like this. I had to keep moving, keep searching for whatever might be out there. Suddenly, a rustling noise broke the silence, snapping me out of my thoughts. I tensed, scanning the area for the source of the sound. My heart pounded in my chest as I saw movement in the shadows. Flash of fur, the glint of sharp eyes. There was more than one this time. Two more feral hounds emerged from the underbrush, their eyes glowing with the same eerie light as the first. They were bigger than the one I had fought earlier, and they moved with a fluid, predatory grace that set my nerves on edge. They circled me slowly, their low growls vibrating through the air. I activated Insight, the familiar warmth of the skill tingling in my mind.
Target, feral hound. Species beast, level 3. Information, a common creature found in dense forests, known for its aggressive behavior and pack mentality. Target, feral hound. Species beast, level 3. Information, a common creature found in dense forests, known for its aggressive behavior and pack mentality.
Level 3. Higher than the first one I had fought. And there were two of them. This was going to be tough. The hounds didn't give me much time to think. They attacked in unison, moving with a speed that caught me off guard. I barely managed to dodge the first one, its jaws snapping shut just inches from my arm. The second hound lunged at my legs, forcing me to leap backward to avoid being knocked to the ground. But as I moved, the first hound circled back and lunged at my exposed side. I wasn't quick enough to dodge this time. Its claws raked across my midsection, tearing through my clothes and into my flesh. I cried out in pain, stumbling backward as the searing agony spread through my body. The wound was deep, and I could feel the blood beginning to soak through my shirt. Panic surged through me, but I forced it down, trying to focus on the fight. I couldn't afford to lose my cool, not with these two circling me like vultures. The second hound used the distraction to lunge at me again, its teeth snapping shut around my left arm. Pain was immediate and intense, a white-hot flash that made my vision blur. I gritted my teeth, twisting my body in a desperate attempt to shake the hound off, but it held on, dragging me toward the ground. Couldn't let that happen. If I went down, I was done for. With a surge of adrenaline, I slammed my fist into the hound's head, again and again, until it finally released its grip. Blood dripped from the puncture wounds in my arm, but I forced myself to ignore the pain. There was no time to dwell on it. I had to finish this. The first hound lunged at me again, but I was ready this time. I ducked low, avoiding its snapping jaws, and drove my elbow into its side. The hound yelped in pain, but it didn't go down. It was stronger than the first one I had fought, more resilient, and it wasn't going to give up easily. The second hound circled back, its eyes locked on mine. It was waiting for an opening, watching my every move. I knew I couldn't let them coordinate another attack like before. I had to take one of them out, and fast. With a quick feint to the right, I spun around and delivered a powerful kick to the side of the first hound's head. The blow landed solidly, sending the hound crashing to the ground. But before I could finish it off, the second hound was on me, slamming into my injured side with enough force to knock the wind out of me. I hit the ground hard, impact sending a jolt of pain through my body. The hound was on top of me in an instant, its teeth bared as it went for my throat. I barely managed to get my arm up in time to block the attack, the hound's jaws closing around my forearm instead. The pain was excruciating, but I couldn't let it end here. I had to survive. Summoning every ounce of strength I had left, twisted my body, throwing the hound off balance just enough to get free. I scrambled to my feet, blood dripping from multiple wounds, my vision swimming from the pain and exert.
You have defeated 2 level 3 feral hounds. Essence absorb.
Before I could even begin to process the message, a sudden warmth spread through my body, starting at my core and radiating outward. It wasn't unpleasant, more like a comforting heat that soothed my aching muscles and dulled the pain of my injuries. The sensation was accompanied by a faint, almost imperceptible change in the air around me. And then the voice spoke again, with a single word that made my heart leap.
Level up.
The system window appeared before me, displaying my updated stats.
Name Chris, race human, level 1, strength 12, agility 12, endurance 12, intelligence 11, wisdom 11, luck 10, vitality 120, 55 skills, insight level 1. Skill points available, 1, stat points available, 3.
I stared at the screen, a mixture of relief and disbelief washing over me. I had leveled up. My strength, agility, and endurance had all increased. I had earned both a skill point and 3 stat points to distribute as I saw fit. The pain in my body was fading, replaced by a growing sense of power, feeling that I was getting stronger. But even as the thrill of the level up coursed through me, frustration lingered. The system had given me a taste of power, but it was still holding back so much information. What could I do with the skill point? How should I distribute the stat point? The system wasn't going to tell me. I would have to figure it out on my own. I knew I needed to be more resilient, more capable of withstanding the kind of punishment I had just endured. My wounds were deep, and the pain had been unbearable. I couldn't afford to be so vulnerable in future fights. With that in mind, I made my decision. I allocated all 3 of my available stat points to endurance. As soon as I made the choice, I felt a surge of strength course through my body. Wounds on my side and arm began to heal faster, pain subsiding to a dull ache. My vitality increased. I could already feel the difference in my stamina and durability. I was far from invincible. This would give me a better chance of surviving whatever came next. With a sigh, I dismissed the window and looked around at the forest. The fallen hounds lay at my feet, a stark reminder of the dangers this world held. But they were also proof that I could survive, that I could grow stronger. I wasn't going to let the system's lack of guidance hold me back. I would find my own path, carve out my own way forward. For now, I needed to rest, gather my strength for whatever came next. Path ahead was uncertain, but one thing was clear. I was just getting started.
Thank you for listening to the story. If you like my content, please subscribe to my channel. Also, don't forget to click on the like button. We will release a new chapter every 2 days.